What's up, you guys? I'm the Geek, and welcome to a new video. This is, you can see about the title. Hawkeye has well and truly solidified for me that Marvel knows nothing anymore. They don't know what they're doing. Which is a shame because I was someone that was like championing Marvel back in the day when it was first when they were doing the movies right near the beginning. I was one of those guys, like, I was excited about it because, like, I read the comic books and all this stuff. It's just kind of disappointing. Because before I get into Hawkeye, I'm just gonna explain why this is it's essentially the straw that broke the camel's back. In fact, no, it's not. It's not. It's one of the things that is just piling on to show. The thing that's going to be the thing that breaks me is Moon Knight, because he's legitimately one of my favourite comic book characters of all time. And Hawkeye is just adding to my ever-growing worry that they are going to do everything they can to ruin Moon Knight as a character. So let's just go back to the beginning of when I started realizing things were going down the shitter, which was after Endgame, after Civil War. Civil War? No. Far From Home. And the issue that I have is the fuck was that? The issue that I have is after Endgame, they didn't know where the fuck they were going, and it seems like they still don't have any idea where the fuck they're going. Because whilst they were doing the same stuff over and over again before Endgame, they were doing all this tonal... If you've not noticed, all the Marvel movies are all tonally identical. There is no difference, there's no variety. Everything is just the same copy and paste shit. And that was okay at the time because they had an end goal at what they were going for, which was Endgame. But after that, obviously, they've lost that end goal. They no longer have an end point in mind. So it just seems pretty much like they've got no idea what they're doing, which they probably don't, because if you look at everything they've done since then, it's been shit. They've not made one good thing since then. You look at WandaVision, it was crap. And I was excited while I was watching it because it seemed like it was leading somewhere. It seemed like it was leading to Mephisto or to mutants, and they fucking knew what they were doing by casting Quicksilver. They knew exactly what they were doing. So, yeah. WandaVision was probably the worst offender. WandaVision was an absolute fucking shit show. Then they had Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is... It was alright. It was okay. It wasn't good. It was okay. It was enjoyable. Way too many progressive politics in there for my liking, but at the same time, it didn't get in the way of the show. It didn't get in the way of my enjoyment. It didn't hinder the show, essentially. It was just... The show was okay. I still don't agree with Sam Wilson being Captain America. I still think it should be Bucky Barnes. It makes more narrative sense. It makes way more sense in terms of, like, you're not stealing a character. I mean, you are, but you're not essentially taking a character who has a is a hero in their own right. Falcon is already a hero. Winter Soldier isn't. So it would make more sense for it to be Captain America and Falcon rather than Captain America and Winter Soldier again, because we got the movie. Plus it's a way that Bucky can work to sort of repay his debts and sort of like deal. There's loads of shit. I might make a video at some point in the future, but it makes more sense narratively. It makes more sense overall why Bucky would be the one that would take up the mantle, but he didn't. And the whole like other Captain America thing, the whole show, the show was good, but it wasn't. I mean, it was all right. Okay. Then you have Loki, which is probably the best one out of those three. Loki is the one that had me enjoying the entire thing right up until the end. At which point it lost me, because it just fucks the end. It completely screws the landing. It just screws the landing. It doesn't do what it should do, which is basically just make the show. This is right. I don't know what it was meant to do, because it seems like they don't know what they wanted to do. It was like, oh, let's open up the multiverse. So, yeah, they did that, but they didn't make it good. There was so many things in that show that it's like, oh yeah, like they fucking with Mobius and whatever her name is that I cannot remember the character's name because I didn't care about her character all that much, but the leader of that whole time organization thing. I'm not bothered about remembering the names and stuff of it, but she had this whole thing with Mobius that was left up to like, oh, it was left up in the air. Something's happened. Oh, we're going to get that in a new season or something, I guess, because it was confirmed for a new season. And what happened? Well, from what it seems, the entire thing's fucking been reset. So that's pointless. All that character development between Loki and Mobius is now irrelevant. All the character development between Loki and everybody else in the series is in fact irrelevant, other than the other Loki. Because they just reset the whole thing, and that's something I hate anytime any media does. They just go, oh, now it's all reset. Oh, no one remembers anything. It's like, fucking really? It's lazy. But one thing I want to say about all of this, all three of those shows were exactly the goddamn same. Tonally, they were all the same. They had the same tone, they had the same feel, they felt like the same show. And now you've got Hawkeye, which is basically going to be the same thing, except it's at Christmas. Because, why not? November 24th. Shitty Christmas show coming soon. Most likely. Because, why make anything interesting when you can just go, hey, let's make some puns with a let's make some bow and arrow puns. Where the fuck have they gone? The best gifts come with a bow. Why try and make something good when you can make a Christmas show, it just feels generic. Like that whole scene, just generic as anything. There is something cool they could have done with Hawkeye, which is what I was kind of wanting. Have it go a bit of a flashback in the middle of the blip when he is in his Ronin persona. Persona, yeah. When he's acting as Ronin. Have it as like a gang war sort of thing, where he's locked in like a building or something. Have it like the raid style thing, because you could do something like that with him. You don't need to make it gory as anything, but make it at least a bit different. Make it a little darker. Make it a little bit more gritty. Take some notes from the stuff that you decided to scrap, which happens to be my favourite shit from Marvel now. From the MCU, my favourite stuff is, well, the Netflix stuff. Not all of it, some of it was absolute shit, but the Netflix stuff, because it was different. Runaways, because it was different. Yes, I know, Runaways was fucking fantastic. Daredevil Season 3 was one of the best things they've ever made. Like, can we just address the fact that they have basically just gone, everything that you loved about, at least for me, everything that is not fitting with our identical shit is now not canon. I don't know where I was going with this video. I thought I'd just turn it on because I saw this and I was like, I'm getting annoyed with it because I'm just so... I'm not even burnt out on superhero stuff. I'm not burnt out on comic book stuff. That's the thing. I'm burnt out on Marvel. Because DC announces something and I'm excited. In fact, it's not even that I'm burnt out on Marvel. I'm burnt out on Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm burnt out on that. They should have ended it with Endgame. If they wanted to go multiverse, like go, hey, let's try this now. But no, they can't do that. And they had the perfect way of bringing the multiverse in and setting it all up to be like, hey, let's introduce another universe. Because they fucking got the Spider-Verse movie coming up. It's not called Spider-Verse, but Spider-Man multiverse thing, which is going to be. That's how. By the way, that's the only thing I'm actually excited for with Marvel. And the only reason is because it's going to have the original fucking Spider-Man in there. As well as Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man stuff. From what I'm aware, it's got Andrew Garfield and the Lizard from The Amazing Spider-Man. I think it's got those. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's also got Tobey Maguire. I say pretty sure. It's been confirmed. It's confirmed that it basically got Tobey Maguire. From what I know, they've got Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe. It sounded like they had Willem Dafoe in the trailer. You saw that they've got Alfred Molina's Dark Ark. I hope he's not like a villain in this. I hope it's like maybe he's basically like a double agent kind of thing. Because from what I know, I think they've confirmed they are the characters from the movies. They are the characters from the original movies, so it's continuing their story. And if it's doing that, they kind of can't make him a villain without completely just ignoring how his story ends in Spider-Man 2. Because if they ignore that, I'm not going to be happy. But something tells me that's what they're going to do. And I don't think it's going to be good. because it was a fantastic scene, a fantastic movie. They can't do it. They can't go back on this. But due to everything that we've seen here, the fact that they're not willing to take any risks, they don't seem to be willing to go in a different direction with anything. The most they're willing to do when it comes to being different is setting. Oh, this one's at Christmas. Oh, this one's in space. Oh, this one's in Africa. It's basically, hey, we got Marvel now. Now we got Marvel in Africa. Now we got Marvel in space. Now we've got Marvel in space again. Thor Ragnarok. Now we got Marvel at Christmas. Now we got Marvel in sitcom. Now we got Marvel in like a time bureau thing. It's just not good. Everything that they've done so far has just been getting me more and more burnt out. And it's not it's not Marvel as a whole. I'm not burnt out on Marvel as a whole because I'm looking forward to the next Spider-Man game, and I'm looking forward to the Wolverine game. I'm not looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy, the game, because from what I've seen, that is taking way too many cues from the MCU, which is what I'm burnt out on. I'm not burnt out on comic book movies as a whole, because I'm excited for all of DC's stuff. Yes, Wonder Woman 80, whatever it was crap. But you got the Suicide Squad, then you've also got the fucking Suicide Squad game. You've also got the Arkham Knights, I think it's called, the game that's coming out, which I'm very excited for as well. You've got all this stuff. I'm excited to see all of it. But then you look at Marvel. Black Widow was a massive fucking disappointment, and it was crap. You've got Captain Marvel, which was shit. You've got fucking Endgame, which was really good, but it had so much fucking wrong with it that they could have done better. You've got the Marvel Disney Plus shows, which have been boring at best. Oh, no, not at best. See, it'd be one thing if Marvel made a movie that was so bad that I was like, I'm pissed off. Why did you do the da 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 da? A bit like how I was with Wonder Woman 84. Because at this point now, I'm over it because it's like, whatever. It's a fucking terrible movie. It's an absolute fucking travesty. I'm annoyed at it because there was so I was looking forward to that movie so much because the first one was fantastic. But it's like, having me pissed off at a movie because it was so bad is a better thing than having me just on all of your fucking projects. Because when I'm just meh on a project, I'm just not likely to see it. Whereas if I'm angry about something, it means there's still passion there. If I'm angry about something, if I'm pissed off that a movie is shit, it means that I am still passionate about those movies. If I'm just saying, whatever, I'm not, what can you expect at this point? That is the worst possible reaction you can have from people. But all of these things are just too safe at this point. Oh, look, a dog. He's wearing Christmas stuff. That's cool, I guess. Puns. Oh, look, that we haven't seen that scene anywhere before, have we? I think I'm done. I think I made my point. Or I didn't, and I just rambled on. Either way. Hawkeye looks shit.